Welcome to the latest edition of Yep Yeah Yes with Marissa and Tamika, coming to you from Montauk, Long Island, right before Memorial Day weekend. Marissa, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
How's your cough?
I have it, but it's not as bad as it was this time of year last year. My allergies aren't as bad as they were, and my cough is still there, but it is what it is.
You getting cleared out with the sea salty air?
Yeah. We're sitting out here on the beach, overlooking the dark horizon.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
But, I'm chilly. Got a blanket around me, but I feel good.
I'll be alright.
Feel good. So today's topic is called It Be Your Own People. It Be Your Own People. I thought about this because you ever watch something and you be praying that it's not like somebody from your race? Like before they show the picture?
The time. Before they even say like a name and an ethnicity, you're like, just don't let it be one of us.
Yeah, and then when it's like of another ethnicity, like I don't cheer when it's in Hispanic, because then I'll be like,
yeah.
Even though they're not my people, I got enough of those people.
But with the emergence.
We got a little bit of,
of the acceptance of Afro Latinos.
Right.
I can't be disrooting. Oh my Lord, I'm making up words today.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying.
Listen, so if it ain't black or Hispanic, I'm okay, is what I'm saying. I'm trying to sound intelligent, but I've had a little
miseducation of Marissa.
I wish I could sing.
Right? Or rap.
As you said, entertaining ain't my forte. Stupid ass.
Anyway, good. So, it be your own people.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where, like you and I just touched on. It's like,
like when you hear like sniper taking out cars on the 495, and you're like, just don't.
And then when it turned out to be in DC, it turned out to be
to black people, and you're like, oh, damn it. New serial killer. Well, there's a new serial killer they're suspecting, but it's a white guy. So, but
Oh, did you hear about the Spanish girl? Serial killer. She killed like 14 people. She's dead now. They killed her.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
What?
Yes. She was a gang member. They can't for sure 100% say the count, but.
Oh, she's not like a serial killer. She's just like
a gang member.
But
you're a serial killer if you're killing people randomly.
Was it random or was it part of the gang stuff?
But isn't that sometimes gang stuff is random. It's like kill somebody that's blonde.
Listen, I can't.
What's the difference between somebody telling you to kill and you going on your own to kill? It's a serial killer. It's a serial number of killings. True?
What? No.
A serial killer is a serial amount of killers.
Maybe.
But anyway, so it be your own people.
Damn it.
I just feel like whatever it is in life. Whatever it is in life,
But how they be talking about. How they be talking about oh man, I hate to put it in this way, but you know how like when you first heard about like a Ponzi scheme, you're like, oh man, I know that ain't gonna be one of mine, and you kind of like whatever, you kind of like tongue-in-cheeked it, and then you're like, oh man, that's kind of bad though. I'm glad it wasn't mine. And then when you hear about like during excavation they found bones of missing 7-year-olds, and you're like, oh.
Just like with
don't be one of mine.
I think about the Jussie Smollett. It's like,
oh man, yeah. Damn it.
Why? Like, do you think the LGBTQ community be like saying that?
All the time.
Be your own people?
Yeah.
Or do they just? I don't know. If it's like, is it a race thing? Is it a gender thing? Because I don't think that when I think of women.
You know what?
When a woman kills, I'd be like, damn, be your own people. I don't think like.
Just because it's a female, you're thinking race, right?
Well, I never think of anything beyond race.
Yes, you do.
No, I'm
but
talking about
when it
when I'm
comes to
saying-
that, yeah.
I'm talking
No,
about
you know what
when
though?
you say it be your own people. If it's a woman, I don't say damn it be your own people. If it's a black person, I'd be like damn it be your own people.
I think about like the team, like male, female. I think team, or like LGBTQ. Like I think teams. But as far as like Hispanics, and then it'd be a Hispanic woman. Damn, it is not only my own person, but she's on my team too.
But when you see, when you see a woman though,
Yeah,
do you think damn it be your own people?
I'm like a team member. I think team member.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
No, I don't, because it's them.
Because
Unless
it's
it's a
them.
black woman, I guess. Yeah, you know, if it's like damn, be your own people.
Be your
but
own
it's not
people.
because.
But
she's
you're
a
doing
woman,
it on
because
race.
She's a woman.
Yeah, you're
because
doing
she's
it on
black.
race. I
Right.
do both, honestly. I think team member because I feel like there's a sisterhood, and there's like a certain unspoken bond that we all got with each other. We are not to tear each other down. We are to uplift each other. We're supposed to share information.
But we don't be like it's be your own people when somebody does something good.
No, I'm happy for the team.
Yeah, but we don't be like, oh, be your own people. Yeah.
Because it has a negative because it has a negative
But why
connotation.
can't it be your own people? Be positive.
Because I think we designated a different phrase for that. Maybe like for the womanhood, for the sisterhood.
Damn, be your own people. Anything it's like. It's
But even the way you're saying it sounds like wah wah wah.
yeah, right.
It'd be your own people.
You look at R. Kelly like, damn, be your own people, and you're taking on your own people.
Damn,
Like,
that's
really?
the worst. Like really?
Like when I looked at Tiger and he did what he did, it's like when he cheated on Elin
Oh man.
with all the 14 girls or whatever women.
It was more than
I
that.
never looked at him like damn, be your own people. I was like
Because he's ashamed.
he's ashamed to be black.
Yeah.
Well, he's not black. He's Polynesian.
But remember though, and we touched on this before, I believe it's systemic with him. He's been in an industry that puts down anything that's minority.
Right.
So he's ashamed
You're not
of who
one of
he is.
them.
No, he's ashamed of who he is. Where if he would have just embraced who he is, then he probably wouldn't have looked in other vaginas apart from his wife.
You use that word. You hate that word.
Vagina?
Yeah.
No, I hate the other one.
Oh, you hate pussy.
Oh my god.
My bad. It's pussy, not vagina.
Oh my god. It's so gross. That word is so harsh.
Yes, I thought I saw a putty cat. I mean,
Ugh. But, he wouldn't have been, searching for other things and other people.
But I never looked at, like, anything he does, I don't never look at him like, damn, be your own people. I look at people that, like, if it's a celebrity.
He got traded a long time ago, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I put him into the Anglo-American because I feel like I traded him.
Like, he's like one of those people, like, you root for. Like, when Michael Jackson was alive, you knew he wasn't rooting for like, black folk until he needed black folk.
That's the worst.
That's the worst. Because then we come rallying around like, ooh, come on to the cookout. You know what I mean? But then he like, okay, well, not really.
I feel like
it's like OJ. Like you're gonna give it.
But you know what? The one thing about Michael Jackson, when it comes to his daughter has always expressed, she's only grown up to be a black girl. So don't change who she is. Don't call her anything else. Don't lighten her skin. Whatever.
But is that because of her mother?
According to her, well,
She was raped.
according to her, well, I don't know. She claims she's only been raised as a black girl. I thought her mom was white.
Well, which one are you talking about?
Paris Jackson.
Oh, you know what? I thought, because I said OJ, I thought we.
Oh no, I'm not talking about
switched over
OJ.
to OJ. So what did she say?
Because you know how she's come out and say that she's only been raised to think of herself and be and identify as a black girl.
Right.
So don't lighten her skin. Don't call her anything else. She's not mixed. She's not anything. She's a black girl. So with her, because of how she speaks about how she identifies, it makes me question what other people have labeled Michael to be. While Michael probably wanted to lighten his skin to be a version of what other people told him was beautiful, I think he still believed that he was black and he embraced his blackness. Maybe not on like the Beyonce level, or Maya Angelou level, or the Toni Morrison level, but I think he still considered himself a black kid and he embraced it.
I don't know. I didn't feel that.
Okay.
I felt like I felt like he didn't embrace any race. He's like, I'm Michael Jackson. I
He's just
supersede.
super. Oh yeah. You think Oprah feels like she supersedes? No.
I think she believes I'm a black woman.
Yeah.
Because
she says it all the time. As a little black girl from this
the problem that I find with Oprah is that I don't feel like she surrounds herself with black people.
I feel like she surrounds herself with everything, though.
I don't.
I do.
Whenever somebody's doing a video and you see her people that are surrounded, like her like if.
But her team, her glam squad is all black.
She got 2 people.
And the same damn people, and they're black. She's got a school in Africa.
Yeah, but
continent of Africa.
The glam squad. That's my point. It's like when you go to.
But whenever she shows like photos of like the family or like people she considers family, her inner circle, they're all black.
Yeah, but what does that matter if the people that you promote around you are not?
You don't think she promotes black people?
No, like I feel like whenever she's like, okay, when you know how like you see people, they do a snapshot or a big thing of like their board meeting. And you look around, it's like it's not very diverse.
Oh.
You can pretend and make the image that I'm about all people, but then when it comes to that decision making shit, be your own people.
Be your own people. Damn it. I always wonder, it's so funny because for me, whenever I look for like well, I've never been in that sort of position. I'm not like a boss, you know what I mean? I've never looked, but if I were to surround myself with a team, it would have to be a multicultural female team. And the only reason I say female is because I've never been uncomfortable or put in a position where I felt uncomfortable or felt like my vision wasn't trying to be understood when I didn't work under a female. So I know if I were to, might assemble the squad, my A team is going to be multicultural, but it will be female.
See, this is the thing. So, I look at somebody like Jay-Z. He's multi-millionaire, close to being a billionaire, and he's got businesses.
Yeah.
And whenever you see, like somebody will they'll be at the Rock Nation offices, they're taking video. It's all minorities.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing though, him and Beyonce have made the conscious effort not only to promote and be and reflect, they have made a conscious effort. They have spoken on it. They put their money where their mouth is.
I don't feel like Oprah did.
Maybe Oprah did.
I think she made a conscious effort to make sure that people recognize she's black and that the black story needs to be told. But unfortunately, I don't think those stories are being told.
Go ahead.
I just don't think those stories are always being told and being executive produced and all of that stuff
by black
people or people of color.
I don't want to say I'm going to give her a pass, but I will say she paved the way for possibility for a lot of people. If she had to create an Anglo-American boardroom in order to make those passages, I feel like I need to give her something for that. I feel like she still gets credit.
Like when I was on the cruise and she was there,
right?
There was 2 black people. One was the hair and makeup. One was hair and makeup, and one was hair and one was makeup. And then there was Gayle King. Everybody else was like
Anglo-American. Yeah, that's sad.
I mean, but I'm sure I'm not saying that she doesn't hire minorities. I'm not saying that. But it's like one of those things where, like, when we've gone to talk show, and it's like, yeah, y'all got minorities, but
they're all doing the same job.
Yeah. Or security.
Or,
Yeah. Like, I don't
and they all literally look the same. No. Except for
Wendy Williams.
Yeah, that's it.
That's when I actually saw it.
You know what? Talk about somebody that I'm really rooting for right now. I'm really rooting for Wendy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have like a Section A, subpart B. I really feel like where she's been through. I feel like I remember my mom had said to me a while ago, which makes me sad in and of itself because of her life and having been married 3 times and her husbands weren't that great, but including my dad, but she was always, I feel like Wendy was always okay, just don't embarrass me.
Right.
And he stepped out and embarrassed her. So I'm really rooting for her. I'm really rooting for her and an uplifting and a life that she deserves and a happiness that she deserves. And I feel like she dealt with a lot because she wasn't. There's really something to be said when you feel right with your heart and your spirit. You attract what's right for your heart and your spirit. And her always having that weight issue or feeling uncomfortable about her weight and attracting someone who cheated on her while she was pregnant, of course he was going to cheat again. But
Exactly.
now he embarrassed her with the baby, and I think
Right.
that's the thing that really got to her. So I'm really rooting for her right now.
The thing
And
about
for her son.
the thing about Wendy to me is like she epitomizes this topic. Your
Yeah.
own people, because
Yeah.
she to be your own people,
Yeah.
all like talking dirt,
Yeah.
and then the dirt
Always talking about marriage and
thrown
yep.
at you,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
So
It really do be your own people, Wendy.
it's true though.
Has that ever happened to you? Like, have you ever felt like you've done something against the team or against, your owns?
My own race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes I feel like I sound two-faced on our podcast because I think I can stand in the truth of living in this society as a black woman,
Right.
but I do find myself at times attracted to many different races, and so trying to find the juxtaposition between my feelings on race while also having a part of me that is attracted to men of other races.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Because I sat here and talked about Oprah with the hiring, her hiring practices. I don't know, like, her head.
But on your romantical hiring, you're
being at the
doing-
show and seeing the people
Mhm.
that work for her and that
Right.
wasn't that many minorities,
That's really interesting.
And so cameramen were all white.
Ugh.
I don't know, but they've worked for her for years, 30 years, 40 years since the beginning of the show.
That was her landscape at the time,
and
too.
And so I think about my own life. It's like I wanna do pro-black and put the fist in the air, like, yeah, black is. I say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, oh, I'd love to see Sandy blonde hair,
I know.
curly waves.
Yeah.
So
I find
I go
myself,
between the two.
you know what, as you say that, I find myself with the same, because it's like, my parents always taught me to just be me and be proud and just do what I do and whatever, and my boo thing, I don't know, like, he self-identifies at different things at different times, but he is, part South American, but I'm not quite sure if that really
It's very
encompasses,
misleading of you to say that.
what, South American?
Part South American.
Oh, it is? How so?
Because I think most of our audience, they see South American as like a particular part of the world.
I see, that's so funny that you say that, because I can't, and this is one of those things that when you're hearing something, you need to listen. I can't give you a definition of what I'm saying. Like, you hear something the way I say it, then that's your problem, not mine.
Right.
So when I
get
say
it.
South American, that's, and that goes with us and who we are and what we surround ourselves with, and that's how we hear things. So when
I don't think that he would say that he was South American though.
he claims he does. I've heard him say he does.
I have never heard him say that. I've heard him say he's a quarter this, a quarter that. But
Because
if
he feels-
he was on the side of the road and he didn't write in South American on the census.
He does. But here's the thing though. I feel like, and that's the thing, I can't really say to him, you can only identify with this and that and the other. He feels like he identifies with all of it. It's just, that's a hard thing when you're mixed with so many things. Like, what do you identify with? Like, some people tell me that I'm ashamed to not identify with certain parts of myself, and I don't. So I don't. It's just, identity and culture are two of the things that's so, in America, and that's all I can speak on. It's so deep-rooted into how we identify others that if they don't fall into what we define, then it's very hard. Like, I know a lot of people have said to me, you don't look Puerto Rican, you look Italian. I never thought this. They always claim me as something else. Oh, why? Because I'm educated and well-spoken at times, because I be making up words and shit. Or I present well, or this and that, because, you want me for you, and I appreciate that in one respect, because obviously I've presented well enough that you want to embrace me as your own, but at the same time I'm not. And I understand that my look is very ambiguous. I'm understanding that now, where before I would be so offended. I do understand my look and my name and the way I speak is very ambiguous. But the way you identify is not the way I identify. The way what I say and what you define what I say don't always coincide. So the way someone hears something is based on their culture and identity and the things that they have gone through. And it's just one of those things where we have to consistently self-accept and understand and evolve and really take things.
I think, see, the thing about it is I think that people, when they identify themselves, they identify themselves based on a specific part of a continent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like people from Europe, they're like, they don't feel like I'm European.
No.
They will say the specific country they're from.
Yeah.
People from Asia, they don't feel like I'm Asian. You know, I think they like, I'm Korean.
Yeah.
I'm Japanese. People from South America don't say I'm South American.
Right.
Like I'm Mexican, Argentinian, whatever.
Right.
You know
whatever
what I mean?
they. Yeah.
People in the Caribbean don't say I'm Caribbean. They say what part of the Caribbean they're from. You know what I mean? I don't know. I've never met anybody. I should say that. I mean, maybe there are people that do that. Like we go to other countries, we don't say
I'm African American. You're just American.
I don't say I'm North American.
You know what's so funny?
Have you ever gone to another country and said you're North American?
I'm an asshole, so of course I have.
God.
But no. Remember, you know how sometimes like when you hate. I know I'm an asshole, and you hate the way I say things. So I always say I'm from New York. I'm from downstate New York, and you can't stand that.
So stupid.
Why is that stupid?
Because you just want to be. You just admitted. You're just extra. You can't help yourself because you're not doing it because you feel like you want to. But it does. Because you know whoever's listening to you could be like, why?
Because when somebody says from New York, where are you from? Oh, I'm from upstate. Why can't I say downstate? It's a term. But yes, they do. I've heard it. It's a term. I didn't pull that out of my ass. It's a term. People from upstate say downstate. I've been upstate. People from upstate always say, oh, you're from downstate. I've heard it before.
Who are you saying this to? That
people from upstate. I've heard people from upstate.
But I have been with you when we are not upstate, and you said downstate.
I know that. But when you're saying from, it's a term that's used. So when we're with other people,
people upstate say that.
What I'm saying is that I've heard this term before. I didn't just pull it out of my ass.
Okay.
So when you're speaking to someone, you say from New York, people automatically assume from Manhattan. We're not in Manhattan. So when I say downstate, it broadens the region. And I see nothing wrong with saying that. I'm zoning it out. That's like Long Islanders.
Shut up. People.
But like Long Islanders.
You want to claim Long Island?
Why can't people from Queens not say they're from Long Island?
Because
they're on the island alone. Could they consider? So if I consider I'm from downstate New York, why can't I say downstate New York without pissing nobody off?
Because Queens more generalized, more specificity to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can.
So I can't specify my region by saying downstate New York.
You, baby girl, it's your world. I'm just living in it. You can say whatever you want. Be your own people.
Be your own people.
Say what you want.
I'm giving you.
You're from Riverdale, not the Bronx.
I am from Riverdale. No, but Riverdale is the Bronx.
Okay, it is the Bronx, but you gotta be like, I don't be. Whenever somebody says, where are you from, Long Island? Oh, what part? Huntington. Oh, okay. You go into details later. Like people from Brooklyn, like I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh my God, not at all.
Marcy.
Not at all. I've never met somebody from Brooklyn that's like Bed-Stuy, Marcy, this, that. No, I've never met someone that's like, I'm from Brooklyn. That's from an out-of-towner that just moved.
Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
I have never met someone who's born and bred in Brooklyn that
didn't say a real Brooklynite.
You're insane.
People that gentrified people that moved there.
Not at all.
In their 20s.
Nah.
They need a cheap apartment.
Nah.
Shout out to y'all. We know who you is. Be your own people.
Oh my God. And that's so funny. I be calling you Huntingtonian all the time. Everybody always looks at me, and I'm like, well,
I don't like to say I'm from Huntington.
Why?
Because Huntington is so broad, and people have their own ideas about it. So I just, if they ask me what part, then I told them Huntington Station. I'm like, oh. There's a very different look. People that know Long Island, we tell them Huntington Station versus Huntington. It's very like, you get a different reaction.
All
And
right.
I'm whatever, but it's like, I don't want to deal with your bullshit today.
Oh my God.
So,
I always got time.
I don't have
so
time.
I always got time.
I'm booked and busy. Cash the checks.
Bitch, I'm trying to be what?
Relax and relax and retired.
Relaxed and retired. You be booked and busy. I'll be relaxed and retired. Tell me how amazing this day has been. I've been real relaxed as I'm slurring my words I hear.
It's been alright.
Oh, you better
No, it's
shut
been
your
a
mouth.
good day.
Today
It's been a
was a
good
good day.
Be your own people trying to convince you to have the same kind of experience they had.
I've been bringing my energy to other
I've been
people.
holding my farts in all day.
That's your problem.
I don't know.
You always be like, I gotta sell gas.
Well, you want to be respectful for the people around you. You don't want to just like let it rip. So you got to find an area.
We are around
Walk away
people.
from the beach.
We are around people right now that don't give a shit about that.
Yeah. Whatever. Whew. Anyway, let's transition to.
Yep, that's trending.
So I forgot what we was going to talk about.
Oh my God.
I totally forgot.
You need to take a swig.
Okay, I remember.
Take a swig of that rosé. Remember,
The Jeffersons. So I know you didn't watch.
I only saw 2 clips today.
Right. But the thing that I really wanted to focus on was the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Oh man.
Like watching that Jefferson special, like especially from the opening, where Woody Harrelson and Marissa Tomei, who play Archie and Edith Bunker, sing the opening song, and listening to the words, like paying attention for the very first time. I used to watch the show.
Yeah.
I never paid it. The song go on, and then you go grab a snack.
Yeah.
And come back in the room.
Those were the days.
You had VCR, but that's not the show you were VCRing.
No. Or at least
Not
we
the-
weren't.
Right, and I don't even think it comes on TV. It might, but I don't see it. But anyway, it's like you're listening to the lyrics, and you're like, holy shit, that is today. Like the show resonated today.
Can I share something with you?
Sure.
So you've met me, you've met my mother, you met my family, you know who I is, you talk to my mom, right? I'm
Your own people.
I'm a TV watcher.
Yes.
I'm a huge so is my mom. We're TV people. Do you know, I'm not going to say that she didn't allow, and I'm not going to say it was frowned upon, but the Archie Bunker show, we didn't watch. We were not watchers. If it was on in someone else's
The All in
house.
the Family or the Archie Bunker?
Sorry, yeah, All in the Family. I apologize.
There was he had a spin-off.
Yeah, so
Archie.
the All in the Family, it wasn't something that we watched. And
Really?
And when we were in other people's houses, obviously you can't tell other people what to do in their house, but
Right.
it was just one of those things where you kind of just walked away.
Speak on that. Why does she not really want you to?
My
watch it?
mom, I
Without
really,
specifically saying.
but I really tell you, my mom was so sensitive to racial undertones and how people spoke to each other. I really do appreciate that now, especially as someone who speaks to multiple people and helps shapes minds. Minds isn't shit.
What?
I'm slurring. Just go with it. It's a train of thought. I don't know where it's stopping.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but like I'm just really appreciating it. Tip of the hat to the lady there, my birth giver, to really creating an environment of openness. It was just something that wasn't played. And even my grandma, even though my grandma always watched Sábado Gigante, and she introduced me to Menudo, and it was a Spanish household, but it was still an inclusive Spanish household, I'll say. And it was very worldly. My mom was very worldly, and I do appreciate that aspect of her and the lens that she has given me when it comes to dealing with other people.
So, sticking to the topic, how do you think? Obviously, times have changed.
Yeah.
How do you think you are carrying on her legacy, or not?
I think I'm carrying on her legacy by insisting that whatever definition you may have for whatever I identify, you're dead ass wrong. Or you might be dead ass right. So whatever definition, when you talk to somebody from a Hispanic broken home, whatever that definition might be for somebody, and I come apart and like kick down the door, you might not understand that my picture might not be for that definition for some. It might be for others. I also believe that when people speak to me, I understand that they're speaking from their experiences, and that openness, that worldliness, that plot me anywhere and I'm gonna be all right. That constant reminder that plot me anywhere, I'm gonna be all right.
But what I'm focusing on, we're not talking about you. I'm talking about how have things changed or remain the same.
Oh, bitch, they just remain the same. Everybody, like, unfortunately, household conversations have not changed very much.
No, this is what I'm talking about. How you grew up. How is that reflecting with you how you're raising your children?
Again, with the worldliness, with the openness, with the constant reminder that, you know what, not everyone has the opportunities that we have. Maybe some people have more, maybe some people have less.
Right.
When someone speaks, understand that sometimes they're speaking from feelings that they don't understand.
Weird. Like, I feel like when I grew up, we didn't really talk too much. Like, race wasn't an issue, but it did, like, there were comments. But it wasn't like, it would be like my step-grandfather would say honky.
Really?
Yeah. He also said nigger. You know what I mean? So it was, and then my grandmother, she one time we had a conversation, and this is in the 90s, and she's like, you know, the colored girl. I was like, what? She's like black. And it wasn't until later that I realized she's had to change.
Like, she's 45 times, yeah. But that's a lot to deal with. That's too
African American.
That's too much to deal with. I feel like if you're a grandma, you got the pass to say whatever the fuck you feel like saying.
Like when she said it, I was like, I felt offended,
girl,
but I'm like,
excuse me?
Is that offensive?
No, it shouldn't be.
Especially if that's what she was raised.
But that wasn't her intention, yeah.
No, it wasn't her intention. But it's like, so when I think, you know, obviously I don't have children, but when I think about the way that things have changed, it's like a lot of things are so much the same.
You know what's so funny? As you're talking about terms for other people, in Spanish there are interchangeable terms for people or ethnicities or skin color, but they don't have negative connotations.
Okay.
So when you're talking like a black girl, you would say like morena, but it doesn't mean anything besides like a black chick.
Right.
So it's not, there's no negative. That's one of the nice things about that interchangeable language, that certain things don't have the connotation.
Yeah, but see, the difference is that the negative connotations were put on black people for like this is in history books.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I mean, I look at my medical records, it's like colored girl.
What? That's in your, really?
In the 70s, yeah.
Oh, that's right. That was the term that was used. Yeah. Oh,
right.
Wow.
And so it's like, I don't know, maybe that's why I don't like to be called a person of color. That could be it. I don't know. But as far as how things have changed today, obviously they don't say colored, but there's still code words that people use to kind of quote unquote put you in your place.
Yeah.
To remind you, you know, who you are, who you is, and who you will never be.
There's this amazing movie that touches upon that. I can't remember the name or who's in it. Never mind. Sorry.
Well, what's the weather like today?
It's chilly. I'm really chilly. My fingers are frozen.
We can make this a short podcast episode today. We're outside. If there's a lot of feedback, it's the water, the waves crashing against the beach.
It reminds me of home, homie. Yeah. I really feel at peace.
But it's cold.
It's cold, yeah.
That's the difference.
But it just reminds me of home.
And when I have a steak on the deck.
The crashes, that sound. This is what I grew up with. I love it. I miss it.
Before we leave, share with the audience one of your favorite memories of being on Tortola.
One? Because I'm a fatso, chicken bus.
Oh, I forgot about chicken bus. The first time I was like, whoa.
I'm like, bitch, it's a school bus and it's got fried chicken on it. I'm like, you're gonna love it. You're like, what? And I'm like, just go with it, chicken bus.
And it's fried, but it's fried without the coating. It's just seasoning. It's not like fried like Popeyes.
No, it's a different.
It looks like it's baked.
But it's not.
It's fried.
Oh my God, my mouth is watering.
Ow. Mom, why did you bring up Chicken Bus?
Chicken
That
breast.
shit was so good.
And duvet is a cover. A duvet,
Empanadas with
5 in the morning. Oh, yeah, so big and so delicious.
Oh,
$2.
And the Edam sandwich.
Shut your mouth. I'm gonna kick you in the chest. Oh my gosh. But just like the food, the atmosphere, the people, it was very social atmosphere, and I'm very socially awkward. So it's very nice to be around that because
It felt very inclusive too.
it was, right? I did feel,
even though like
you know that there was a divide, but I did feel included.
yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like when you brought me to be around certain people of a different hue, you could see like, okay, we're gonna socialize with you down there, but up here on the yacht club,
Yeah.
it's like really not.
I think that's one of those. I think that's one of those things. It's so hard because it's like, I've never really felt like I didn't belong anywhere, and I have to consciously remember that sometimes when like we travel. I'm not saying that like you walk into a place and you feel like you don't belong, but like like sometimes like even when like I would go to like your family reunions, it was never thought in my mind. I remember one girl, I forgot her name, but she was like, I was the only white girl there, and I'm like, who even fucking thinks like that? Because I just, you know what, my mind just never goes there.
I think that all the time. Like I couldn't help thinking about it and like an event that you had at your home, which is understandable.
But that's one of those things where I feel like I have to make a conscious effort to be a little bit more sensitive to that because I don't think it doesn't mean that you don't. So I need to be a little bit more sensitive to that.
And I have to remind myself that just because you don't want to, not that you don't want to, just because you're not making a concerted effort to befriend people that are my race, doesn't mean that you're racist.
I'm not at all. I'm just completely awkward. I'm very...
No, but I mean, I have, not just you in general, just like everybody that don't have a black friend ain't racist.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
You know, but I just wish people would try more.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
My cousin made a comment about that the other day on Facebook. He said, if you look at your friends list and it all looks the same, you're a problem. And one of his friends was like, all right, but then what am I supposed to do? And he was like, make friends with people of color. And the friend was like, you're my person of color. Like, what else am I supposed to do? And it was such an eye-opening thing. Like, as an adult, it's very hard to do that. But I've always said this, it starts with the arts.
It's hard.
It starts with the arts. If you start with the arts, you're immersed in a different environment, and it makes it easier.
I don't know. I think it starts at work.
Numbing. It starts with the arts.
I disagree. I have a right, don't I?
I mean, yeah, you have the right to your wrong opinion.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm done with this conversation. Anyway, where can they catch us?
Yep, yeah, yes, 18, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Hey!
But not the 18 on Facebook.
No, it's just Yep, yeah, yes.
Podcast.
I'm looking at
That's all I
this
got.
collection of stars, and I'm really loving it right now.
Unfortunately, my camera's not going to be able to pick up the stars. It's just going to be a blob.
The stars at night.
Okay. Anyway, good talk.
This rose's hitting
I was trying to
right.
get to 40 minutes, but it's not going to happen.
This rose's hitting right.
So,
Oh, wait, before we end.
yes.
You never told me. Or maybe you did. Did I forget? You
What?
asked me before if I was on a reality show. No, you did.
That was offline.
Oh.
I asked you offline, and you told me.
I definitely drank more
Housewives.
than half this bottle.
You said one of the Housewives shows. And
I did some
Amazing
homework,
Race.
Twisted, and I need to double check this shit
You
because
probably should.
yeah.
Anyway, you want to sign off now?
Homie,
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, homie, you've never said that.
I say
You're always like, okay. Oh, thank you. Homie.
Anyway, y'all,
Homie,
it's
you're
been
enough.
fun. And
You're enough.
You're enough.
You're enough.
And again, sorry if there's a lot of feedback in the background. It's the wave. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm
It'd be
not
your own
sorry.
people
It'd be your
talking
own
shit.
people sometimes. Be like, you know this feedback, you'll be alright.
Anyway, all right, y'all. Have a good Memorial Day weekend.
Be
And,
safe. Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive.
Call it Uber.
Don't smoke and drive. And, yeah, bye.
Bye. Bye.